Whether you just downloaded the game and you're starting into your first world, or you're starting a new world, or you just can't figure out what you want to do or why it's so difficult, I've got some tips for you to make your game a lot more enjoyable. We all made mistakes the first time that we started it, and I'm trying to help you avoid those mistakes or at least just improve your gameplay. Some people work 9 to 5s. They don't want to do all the grind and learn all these things for themselves. They just want to have fun playing the game. Some tips I have, we're going to start off with some very easy stuff and basics that people might want to learn right away just to save them time. So, these first couple are going to be very simple. When you're first trying to decide where you want to build a base, make sure you pick a flat, open area. You don't want like a ruins like this, something that you can't destroy or avoid. You want to look for some materials in the area. You want trees, rocks, even these ore nodes down here. Although many people have picked this area and it is a decent area to set up your location for your first base, if you go down just a little bit, you have a little bit more flat of an area and it's more in the open. There's also an ore node here, which is very handy. Ore is used to make ingots. Ingots are used for tons of things in the game. This area is much more level and just has a lot less going on. You get a nice view of a waterfall. It makes for a very good first base location. Nice and simple. First tip, that's it. A first little bonus tip I have for you: when catching pals, I don't recommend jumping on top of the ball. Maybe one time for fun, but you'll learn your lesson quite quick. Not sure why they added that feature, but it's definitely interesting. So you've picked your first base location, you got a good spot to go down, and now you want to get into the game. Before you get too far and you start hitting your levels, I recommend focusing your points into health, stamina, and weight. Weight is very important in this game. Don't underestimate it. When you're carrying things around, the weight can add up very quickly. I currently have 594 out of 1,000, and I don't even have anything that's really not useful to me. Well, I have this carbon fiber, but we'll ignore that. I have a couple points into my attack because I made the mistake early of putting it in there, but I really wish I didn't do it. You only get like 2 points when you put it into attack versus 100 health or 50 carry weight. Your stamina, it may not look like it's going up a lot, but it adds up. Whenever you're riding a mount, even your stamina, it goes very quickly. And you do not want to be constantly waiting for your energy to come back. It's not very fun. And if you're trying to get around the map early and you're moving around, you don't want to be running out of stamina. If you have to get up to high places, you're going to need that stamina to get up there. It's just a good thing to do. Your attack, it just bases it off of your weapons and everything that you use. These weapons are not really the main source of damage. Your main source of damage is going to be your pals. You're going to want to level up your pals, give them good skills, and let them do all the work. In your early game, when you're grinding and you have to cut down ore and other items, you're going to want your stamina to go down slow. It takes a while to get through these. I have a high level pickaxe. It goes a lot faster, but you don't want to sit here just slapping rocks for hours on end because your stamina is just running out constantly. It's not a good time. That's my second tip. Just focus your stat points into health, stamina, and weight. Work speed, your pals are going to be doing the work. Defense, it doesn't matter. You're going to have armor. It's going to increase your armor and your health, although you can never have enough health, it seems. There's nothing more annoying than fighting a boss and you're almost there, you're ready to catch it, and you just die from one ability. It's not fun, and you want to avoid that experience as much as you can. My next tip is one of my personal favorites and one you might have already heard of, but it saves a lot of time and is definitely something that everybody should do and everybody should know about. And that is using Vixies in a ranch to constantly have almost unlimited Palspheres. Palspheres are something that are required all the time and help you level up. Capturing pals is the best way, other than tower bosses, to level up, and you're not going to be doing that many tower bosses that often. So capturing some Vixies so you can have unlimited Palspheres for that is definitely a good idea. You also get arrows and gold in the meantime, which is very helpful and just makes your game a little more enjoyable. As you can see, I just collected all those spears and I only have 2 Vixies in my box. That's all you really need, 1 or 2 Vixies for one person, and you can have enough Pal Spears to keep you going until you need to get upgraded Pal Spears. But I still use regular Pal Spears, even at level 50, just for collecting like XP bonuses and just, I don't know, little pals that I haven't captured yet that I happen to see in the wild and they're a low level. Just throw an easy Pal Spear that doesn't cost anything. If I look in the PAL deck, I can see Vixie's habitat. Vixie's habitat is located here during the day or at night. It's located very close to the spawn area and they're usually a low level, so you just have to craft a few spears and you can go here, capture 1 or 2, and have almost infinite balls. This next tip I used a lot in the mid to late game, but if I knew in the early game, it would have helped me out a lot. And this tip is using merchants. Specifically, catching merchants and using them in your own base. My favorite location for this is Fisherman's Point at minus 580, minus 745 on the map. Here's the spawn location, and just to the left, you will have Fisherman's Point just below the whole volcano area. While in this location, be careful not to do any damage or shoot any of the merchants, even if you're trying to capture them. There is guards around, and you will get a wanted level. This first merchant just up the staircase sells ammunition and even a makeshift handgun if you're not in that point of the game, but you want to try using a gun, you can buy it from this guy. It is still expensive. I recommend just waiting till you get to that point in the game, unless you're really eager to try it. Buying ammunition can be very helpful, especially if you're using an assault rifle or handgun. You're going to be crafting a ton of ammo, and this saves a little bit of time just purchasing if you have the extra gold. To the left of that merchant, we have another merchant that I used a lot throughout my gameplay. This merchant sells high quality pal oil and leather. I needed high quality pal oil, and it was pretty hard to fight some of the higher level bosses or mammoths that would drop the high quality pal oil. So being able to buy it in bulk was definitely an advantage for me. Capture these merchants, I recommend just going behind them, getting the back bonus, and capturing them that way. If you don't end up capturing them on one of your first tries and they start shooting you and you start taking too much damage, simply just fast travel somewhere else and come back. This last tip is going to be a mixture of a couple tips put into one. First off, whenever you make a new base, just put a chest or a crate, anything, right next to your PAL box. In case you come over with a lot of materials and you can't move too far, you can just move to there. Once you hit level 12, just craft the grappling gun. It doesn't matter which version you have, there is upgraded versions, but I don't find any difference between any of them. Once you have this grappling gun crafted, you can use it to go to your box or anywhere on your base that you might want to go to. You can put your items in there and then you can move freely wherever you want. The next tip kind of goes in part with this. Say it was over here and I picked up a bunch of materials and I couldn't move, then I'd want something to be able to grapple to. It works best if your PAL box is somewhere like elevated and you can't reach anything to it. You just put down a base, put down a wall on top of it, and I recommend probably going 2 walls high, and then that can be next to a crate or your PAL box. And say if I was overweight over here, even if I'm overweight, I look at that, I pull myself to it, and then you can put any materials overweighing you right there. And you didn't have to do a hassle of getting over there too much. Those are just some tips that I wish that I knew whenever I start the game, or tips just to make the game easier if you haven't really figured those things out yet. If you enjoyed this video and you have any more ideas or you want to see some similar topics, just put it in the comments down below and I can create those videos. Thank you for watching today. Please like and subscribe.